Warning: this video is much longer than most of my long videos will be. This is due to the fact that there's a lot more that I needed to cover in this video than I originally thought. I do still think that you will enjoy it if you watch through to the end. And make sure to see what I have to say there. I have some challenges for you, and an explanation of what I mean by long videos. If you would like, you can skip to different parts in the video, and I'll try and link those in the description. But I hope you enjoy.
Alright, so I don't know why I'm even recording this because I haven't been able to do YouTube in a while. But you guys all know I have this big table in my room. It's probably going to be a while before this gets out, but I'm wanting to do yo-yoing more. I think that's what I've chosen as my hobby, and this beast kind of takes up my entire room. That was I set that up for a friend's birthday. But literally, this right here is the only space I have for yo-yoing in the entire room. The rest of it is not suitable. So, because this thing takes up so much space, and I'm not even using it anymore, I'm gonna get rid of it. Sort of. I want to keep the wood because I spent a little bit of money on that. We'll just leave it at that. And I don't necessarily want to get rid of it completely, but for now, a temporary solution will be to take the whole thing down, kind of lean the wood up against the wall. So I guess might try and time lapse that. The time lapse might break some, and then after that, probably try and get some sweet yo-yoing shots. I've got a yo-yo coming in a few days, so I might be able to use that once that comes. And I'm used to the new room layout. Anyway, let's get to that. Alright, using a different mic this time so that hopefully it comes out a little nicer. I'm going to use this time to talk about some stuff. Obviously, I've got no background music right here. This would be like the perfect opportunity for some background music. And I'm going to need that if I'm going to make this channel work. So, one of my challenges for you that I'm going to give you right now is I would ask that you would just, in the comments, give me a good way that I can get some good music for my videos. Some copyright-free music. So that I can just make it a little more interesting and be able to do better content. I want to be able to do a good job with this, but I'm not going to be able to do it without your help. Alright, I guess I'll talk to you guys again in a moment. Alright, so, as you just saw, I finally gotten the table cleared, or at least I'm assuming you've seen it. Sorry, I need to do better about looking right here, not here, where I can see what's going on. All that's left, and my brother's already started on this, is get everything cleaned out from under here. I've got a bookshelf right here I gotta take care of, and another desk all the way back there that I need to get out of there. And once all that stuff's out, there are some lights under here actually that were gotten from my brother. And after that, should just need to flip this thing over, label all the different pieces so that I can put it back together if I ever want to, which I'm gonna be honest, likely won't happen. Yeah, and then just get it disassembled. So yeah, on to that. Alright, so again, I have another challenge for you. If you guys could give me some sort of like editor to make some nice, interesting thumbnails, that would be great as well. And something I should mention, I cannot spend any money on this. I just don't have the money to be able to spend on this, but I want to do as good a job as I can. So for both the royalty-free music and the editor, it would be great if it was free. But yeah. Anyway, I'm about to have another talking segment, so I will shut up. Alright, so I've gotten everything under the table done. I just have a little platform I need to take care of, and then I can start disassembling the table, but there's some labeling I need to do before that, so I'm gonna kind of skip past that, and next should be the time lapse of me taking this thing apart. Although probably I will leave out the part where we flip the thing over, just because I don't want to necessarily make my family uncomfortable having them on video. Anyway, see ya. One other thing that I will mention while I am doing this little bit right here is I'm going to do my very best. I'm editing right now. I'm going to do my very best to keep this short, but I mean, right now I have 47 minutes of raw, unedited footage, so that's going to be quite a feat. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I haven't done any editing tricks just yet. So I haven't seen any good opportunities just yet, and I'm going to do my best with it, but please just bear with me. And if it does end up being a long video, just again, remember at the beginning of the video, I said that it wasn't going to be for all of them, just for ones where I end up having a lot to go through. For the most part, with these long videos, they're going to be like 5 to 10 minutes long, but I thought maybe for this first one, it's a good idea to have a nice long one, just to kind of kick off my new way of doing YouTube. But yeah, alright. I don't actually have much else to talk about, and I want to leave the rest of that for the end of the video, so I'm going to stop talking now. You can watch the rest of the time lapse. Alright, so yeah, it's the table disassembled. Naturally, mentioned it earlier. The yo-yo that I ordered it's actually been shipped, so at least I think is what it meant. But that's gonna be coming soon, so that I can test out this area. And still got some work to do because I got to figure out how I want things to go and look. But yeah, a lot more space in here now. Alright, back so I'm done. First things first, this is something that my desk chair used to sit on. But now I'm working downstairs, so I don't really need it, and it's just gonna sit here for now. But into the room. And my dog's in here right now. Say hi, Cece. Hey. Say hi to the camera. Yeah, you're a good girl. Yes, you are. Alright. So, over here, I've already had this for a while. This is my sound operator schedule for my church. Got some yo-yo strings here, and a pile of stuffed animals, and another pile of stuffed animals. My brother and I have a problem. Some old wires, the trash can. This holds a lot of junk, including my alarm clock. I suppose that's not junk. That's important. But it's got a lot of different things, including my phone case, because I'm recording with my phone right now. But yeah, this was something I got for my friend's birthday. I got one for both of us so that we could race them together. Then lots of other stuff. And I mean, you might be saying, like, why didn't you get him a yo-yo? It was just, you know, he's kind of apathetic about it. And it's at this point in the video that I am realizing that I need to make some major cuts. I really like to talk a lot, and so there's a lot of stuff that I try to put in here, but not all of it is necessarily important. So I kind of go on yakking for a little bit about my room, but it's not the most important. So I'm going to cut it here, and I'm going to skip to the next thing. And I'm just going to do this a little bit with the rest of the footage just to help the flow of the video a little bit, because I have a lot of footage to go through, and this is going to slow down my video quite a bit. Anyway, that's my yo-yo collection. Alright, next. Alright, so I made some decisions in the past few days. I've actually been in the room for a while. And instead of putting a yo-yo thing here, I am going to put an unboxing here for this. So let's get started. Again, use with adult supervision. Package is flipped to protect my identity. And like Spider-Man, can't reveal my secret identity to the world. Not even to MJ and Ned. Oops, sorry, that's a spoiler. Now I need to put a spoiler alert on the video. Anyhow, set that to the side. We got some packing information. Oh wait, there's some stickers in there. Oh, I already have this one. This is the Learn Kendama sticker. You can have this one. Okay, there actually is some stuff in there. There's another one of these cards. Gotten these before, and has two sides. Lots of cool stuff. And this is for me. Again, I'll look at that later. But my goodness, I've been waiting for this for ages. But this is my first time seeing it. Okay. You know what? I feel like I gotta count it down. Anyway, time for the countdown. In 3, 2, 1. Oh, wow. I can already see it in there. It looks so much better than I thought it would. Oh my goodness, this is so amazing. All right, so that's the back of the box. But this is also... I cannot contain my excitement. This is... Okay. So you can see this is the front of the box. I got the Dark Galaxy Arcade colorway. So let's open it. All right. It's opened. Oh, look at that. Some cage-free string in yellow. I haven't gotten yellow yet. Oh my goodness, I got some more stickers. I love stickers. You should see the back of my computer. It is just absolutely chock full of them. I'll throw up a picture right now of how many are in there. Maybe even have some of these on there at this point. So, oh, and then there's a throwback Skill Toys sticker. I'm telling you, I'm a sucker for stickers. I love putting on my computer. Picture again. And the thing we have all been waiting for, the Dark Galaxy Arcade. Oh my gosh, it's so smooth. What the heck? That's so weird. It's like, wow. It's nice and smooth. Yeah, so I was doing some research on this and asking around on Discord. There's a nice like divot right here. It's not like a dimple, but it is a divot that goes in right there. This is really nice. All right, I'm gonna get a string on this thing and show off the first throws. All right, so gonna string it up first time. Give it a throw. So nervous. Come on. I believe this is a cage-free string, and I really hope it's regular cage-free because I've gotten used to playing with that. And the string is on the Yoyo. I don't know if you can see it too well. Again, Dark Galaxy Arcade. I heard that these ones turned out really well this time, and you really kind of have to see it to believe it. It looks really nice. And it feels nice too. It's like I don't know how to describe it necessarily. Maybe it's like a satin finish, but I'm not exactly sure because I don't know what satin feels like, so. But it's really silky smooth. It's really nice. Ooh, listen to that yo-yo hum. Ooh. Whoa. It's like making some dinging noises. Alright, look at this. As it spins. Isn't that beautiful? Yikes. So, and then there's also, you can see it right there. Oh wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. It's beautiful. All right, let's throw down. All right. I guess I'm just gonna start throwing. Alright, well, obviously there was a bit of a jump cut right there. And I'll explain that when I get to the review portion of this guide, but right now I have something a little bit more important to say than this, so I'm going to set this off to the side for a moment so I can talk about that. But what is it that I'm about to share? Well, today I'd like to share the gospel with you, and please don't click away or skip. I promise this will be worth your time. So you might have heard the word gospel on the street, or you know that it has some sort of religious connotation, but it just sounds like a funny religious word. But what does it mean if I'm going to give you the gospel today? I mean, to you it just sounds like a word. Well, I could tell you the Anglo-Saxon and the Latin and the Greek and all the roots of where it came from, but it all boils down to good news. Gospel means good news. So what's the good news that I'm going to give you today? Well, to understand the good news, you first have to hear some bad news. That's a little bit sad. But the bad news is that everyone on earth, including me, including you, is a sinner. That means that we have broken God's law. Now that's really religious and all over the place and baffling to think about. What does that mean? So, to help explain it, I'm going to use a little bit of an analogy. I'm sure you have heard of a credit card before. The way a credit card works is you are able to spend as much money as you would like, as long as you don't exceed your credit card limit. You can spend it, and, you know, it seems like for a while that, you know, you can spend as much money as you like and there's no consequences. But that eventually comes back to bite you, because they always write down how much money you owe them. And they even make it so that that piles up. And eventually you're going to have to pay that bill. The way that transitions then is when you do something that's sinful. You lie. You steal. You know, you do all the things that religions are always like getting upset about. Those things, you may think that they are just little things that disappear into thin air, but unfortunately, those are all written down. They don't just go away. Every single wrong thing that you have ever done is written down. And eventually, you're going to need to pay the debt. And the price for that debt is death. Not just regular death where you die, but eternal separation from God and from anything good that you could ever imagine in hell. Now, I promise you, hell is not some sort of fun party where, you know, everyone's like drinking and doing crazy stuff. It's eternal separation from God and from anything good, in eternal torment and burning. There aren't even words that can describe the type of pain you will experience in hell. And just because you do good things, or you might be a good person, doesn't mean you can get to heaven without God's help. And that's where all of us sit. All of us are heading straight for hell because we can't pay our debt. We either pay our debt or we suffer the consequences. But that is where the good news comes in. See, even though we're in this hopelessness where we have no hope, we're going to die someday and we're going to be in hell. Jesus came and he lived a perfect life. He never sinned. He never, in one sense, used a credit card. He always used cash or debit. He never sinned. He never messed up. And then he said, I'll pay the price for your debt. I'll pay it for you. And he died on the cross. But he didn't just die. When he died, he took sin into the grave with him. He went down to hell and he took our punishment upon himself. And then he defeated death and he rose from the graves, saying, now you can accept the gift that I am going to give to you. All you have to do is trust. that what I did on the cross applies to you, and I will pay your debt. That's the good news. That even though we owe this great debt to God, Jesus is willing to pay that price. And all we have to do is accept that what Jesus did on the cross applies to us, that Jesus can pay our debt. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, let me know by getting in contact with me at controlmastercentral@gmail.com. Alright, on to the review. Alright, I'm re-recording this section because I went for 17 minutes talking about this yo-yo, but that just shows how much I appreciate this yo-yo. But because I went for so long, I'm going to need to speed this up. So, to begin with, I've had the yo-yo for a few days, and that's why there was a jump cut earlier. I've been able to, use it, get some thoughts on it, but I've also dinged it. What's great about it, though, is even though I have dinged it some, it still plays really well. And what I mean by that is something that can happen when you ding it is the yo-yo can become what's called vibey. Vibe just means vibration, and right now it's a little bit vibey. But what's cool is it still, no matter what, gets itself to being dead smooth, where it just is you can feel that it's spinning, but it's not shaking back and forth. And I'll try and give an example of that real quick. If I grab my wedge yo-yo, I'll make it extreme for you. Something that can happen is if you unscrew a yo-yo, it can cause it to be vibey, but that is, an extreme case of vibe. But even if I do get it to a regular throw, this one is still pretty, it's like shaking back and forth a little bit, even though it looks like it's spinning really well. And so that is really good because it means that there's less friction coming from the yo-yo. Something else is I found that it does not hold back my practice. I accidentally, the other day, I was trying to go for about 10 minutes to practice and accidentally lost track of the time because I was having so much fun and accidentally practiced for 30 minutes. And the day before that, when I got the yo-yo, I had to stop recording because it wasn't like I was sore from my hand from throwing it over and over again or having it come back to my hand. I was sore from standing up for so long, which isn't something that usually happens for me, which is crazy. It means that the yo-yo, you can just throw it over and over again, and it really doesn't matter how long you're throwing it for. It's not going to cause you to want to stop. It's really not going to hold you back too badly. Then, this next thing is what's really amazing about it, and that's what I have this for. On screen right now, you should see a picture of two different yo-yos, and these yo-yos are the summer and winter solstice. The one on top, is the summer solstice built for power. The one underneath, the blue yo-yo, is built for speed. If you look around on the rims, you can see that there's this flat looking shape on the rims, and that shows that they have actually put a lot of weight into the rims. And that allows, with design, for you to be able to have a really powerful yo-yo, and at the same time to be able to make it as light as possible. The downside to this is it can become really hard to throw it over and over and over again, and eventually your arm gets sore from doing that. And it can also have a little bit of a jerk when it hits the string. Of course, manufacturers have found ways to limit this as much as possible, but that's still something that can be a downside about a powerful yo-yo. On the flip side, the winter solstice is built for speed. And the way that they do this, if you look, there's actually not as much weight in the rims, and the rims are a lot less beefy as on the summer solstice. And so, they have actually moved a lot of the weight into the center, I believe, and that allows it to be a lot quicker and respond to movements. But On the downside, that can mean if you don't have the best control, it can mean that the yo-yo will feel a little bit uncontrollable sometimes, or it won't be as stable on the string. And again, manufacturers, specifically Yotrix, who made this, or Throwback Skill Toys is their line of toys that they have. I mean, I'm calling them toys, but I feel like that's really not necessarily a good way to put it. Skill Toys is better. You know, they've done their best to limit these things, but those can still be side effects of the yo-yo. What's interesting about the arcade is they found a way to make a yo-yo that's the best of both worlds. And I'll explain that real quick. So first of all, if you look at the yo-yo, it's apparent that it has the same design as on the summer solstice. It's flat and the rims are pretty beefy. But what's weird is it plays as if it was a speedy yo-yo. Why is this? Well, the reason that this is the case is, unlike other yo-yos, it's a little bit smaller. So you can see the top of the wedge right there. It's a little bit smaller. And this seems like such a small thing, but it means that there's actually less material required to make this yo-yo a reality. Which means that overall, the yo-yo is a lot lighter. So this has a few implications. One, it fits really well into your hand. And two, even though it's built for power, you can throw this thing as many times as you like, and likely you aren't going to get tired of throwing it. And I mean, even right now, I've been doing takes for a while with this thing, and I've even been yo-yoing all day, and I mean, my hands, they're fine. My back is not. But you get the point. It's really, really good for long extended practices. And so, real quick, I'm just gonna clear this, and then I'll be able to get to my final thoughts, and some of my other grievances with the yo-yos, as a whole. But because of these three things, as well as some other stuff I will talk about later, I believe it's really good for practicing. Something I should mention before moving on is it is an organic yo-yo. What that means is, and I'll grab the wedge for an example again. This yo-yo has a kind of V shape, or if you look at Duncan's Butterfly XT, it has this kind of butterfly shape. Or again, the Civility, it has this star-looking shape. If you were to put a star into there, it'd be able to fit in. And all of these shapes allow for different things. Organic means that it's kind of its own shape. For this one, it kind of just curves in. And that's not necessarily the best when you're designing a yo-yo, because it will mean that there's a lot more friction with the string. But what it also means is it's a lot more comfortable to hold and throw and catch. So, for example, earlier I accidentally came and I hit myself really hard in the hand. And even though it hit really hard, I didn't really feel it that much. I mean, I noticed that it was coming back really fast, but it fell right into my hand. And it felt pretty nice, actually. And so it really, that helps with making the yo-yo really good for practicing. Something else I should note is that it is good for finger grinds. A finger grind is simply where you jump the yo-yo up and land it on your finger, or I guess to explain it a different way, or the way Yotrix explains it, a grind is any time the yo-yo is interacting with your body, or spinning on your body. So for example, this is spinning on my finger. In between the gap, you can also spin it on your finger, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But I do have a few little nicks for it. The first thing is, whereas it does, by being a lighter yo-yo and being a little bit smaller, it does limit the kind of jerkiness you might experience from hitting the string. There is a little bit of jerkiness, but what I have noticed is that that's kind of very minor. It also could be that that's just how metal yo-yos are. There is going to be a little bit of a jerkiness. It's not going to be completely, you know, like you're going to feel something, obviously, but I don't know if I'm just feeling the yo-yo because it's a powerful yo-yo and it's built for power, or if it's just that I'm not used to throwing metal yo-yos. That could also be the case, and so that one's not a really big thing. The other one comes down to finger spins. Finger spins is a type of grind where you land the yo-yo on your finger and it spins. Those are called finger spins. Something that I've found with this yo-yo is, for someone like me who's not good at finger spins, it is really difficult to spin on this thing. If I compare it to the wedge has a nice dimple, so your finger really just falls right into the gap. With the arcade, it does slope down, but it's kind of difficult to get it to slope down, and this isn't a dimple, it's just a drop in. And so, again, this is really small, but for someone like me who's bad at finger spinning, it's really difficult to get it to center in and be able to spin for a long time. And that spinning that it does, it actually slows the yo-yo down a lot faster than it needs to, meaning that the yo-yo loses its spin a lot quicker. And so this obviously means that it's not good for someone like me who's a very beginner with finger spins, but it also means, you know, you can't take my word completely for it simply because I can't do finger spins. So someone who can do finger spins might be able to do a bit of a better job with it than I can. So, you know, those are really small things, but my final thoughts on it, I think it is the perfect yo-yo for learning tricks, for training. You can just go for hours and hours on end. Maybe not a beginner yo-yo. If you wanted to like jump straight into unresponsive play, which unresponsive play is what this yo-yo is built for. All right, there was some there was a jump cut there because there were some technical issues, but I fixed them. So basically, an unresponsive yo-yo, it just means that the yo-yo is not going to come back no matter how hard I pull on it, and I'm even jumping it everywhere, and it's not coming back. And I can compare it to a responsive yo-yo and put it through the same tests to give you the example. Basically, if I do the same things, and this is the same string, it is a different bearing though. If I try and do the same things, it comes back and hits my hand pretty hard. I can't do the same things as I was doing with the arcade, and that's because it is a unresponsive yo-yo. And so to be able to use this, you are going to need to learn how to bind. So if you want me to make a short tutorial on that, or even a long tutorial on that, just drop a comment below to let me know. And I'll add it to my list of things that I'm trying to do. But what's also great about it is other yo-yos that, to get the kind of performance out of a yo-yo as you get out of this one, you need usually what is called a bimetal yo-yo. What a bimetal yo-yo is it uses two different yo-yos so that the yo-yo can be really light, but still play really powerfully and really stably. But those ones can be pretty pricey, as much as like I've seen them go for like $120, which is a lot of money to spend on a yo-yo, compared to this one, which is almost $100 cheaper. And I suppose that is an extreme example, with most bimetals sitting at like $60 to $80. With this yo-yo, for the splash color, which is a color with a splash effect on the yo-yo like this one, for a splash effect, it's $32, and for a half swap effect, which is just basically, it's a yo-yo that has two different colors on different halves, and it's a solid color against silver, is generally what they do with the arcade. It's $27, which means this is a very budget-friendly way to get a really good performing yo-yo that you can just practice with for hours and hours on end without being worried about getting tired of throwing it. And so, because of all of those things, I really think that it is probably the best bang for your buck, as Yotrix says on their websites. So now I'm going to send it over to the ending. And I know this actually, real quick, I just want to say, I know this video went a lot longer than I was planning on, but I really do hope that you have enjoyed everything that's gone into this. This has been a long process and a long time coming. So, anyway, on to the ending. Alright, so this is the end of the video. I'm going to do this over again because I talked a lot longer than I meant to in the original take, but I have a few things I want to talk about. One, I'm going to be doing 2 different forms of videos. Short videos and long videos. Obviously, this was a very long video. And my reason for that is I like to do this. I've been feeling super stressed to get this edited, and it's taken me a lot of time to work on it, and I usually don't have the kind of time that I had today. I actually had to make time to make this happen. And that's just because I have a lot of stuff going on in my life, and so I usually am not able to make a longer video. But I can make shorter videos. Specifically videos that don't really require me to edit and are just one shot. And so, because they're just one shot, I decided why not call them one shots. So, most of my content will be what I'm calling one shots, and those will give little glimpses of what the longer videos might be like. And this longer video, this one is not the normal. The normal, I'm hoping, is for it to be like 5 to 10 minutes long, but occasionally, like if I go somewhere or something like that, it might end up being a lot longer. So this is a special case. But then something I wanted to talk about. Originally, in the original take of this, I had said, let's get to 15 subscribers. And I like to talk a lot, as you've already seen. And I told my friend about it, and he absolutely bopped that before I even got the video out. I went to bed with like 9 subscribers and woke up with 17 out of nowhere. And so obviously that challenge doesn't work because I can't do another long video like this just yet. So I think that this should be pretty achievable. I'm going to say, let's get to 30 subscribers, and then I will do another long form video. So that's my challenge to you guys. So make sure to share it with people, and make sure to like, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed. This has been Control Master, and I will see you guys next week when I upload my first one-shot. That one's going to be interesting because I am thinking I'm probably going to show off a trick that I came up with myself. Alright, see you guys.